So Siakam has no points in the second half in overtime. And I say to Deep, I had the same. It's Thursday, which means we're thirsty for that tea, honey. Run the opening thing. Run it, please.
In the park.
It makes me laugh every time.
Pooja and Gurdeep Ahluwalia, the Pooja and Gurdeep show here in Toronto, CHFI. They are slaying it. Check them out online. It is one of the best radio shows in the country. They're here every Thursday. Great to see the two of you.
Nice to see you.
Gurdeep's wearing his Raptors tee because he may not be able to next week.
I believe.
Good on you.
I'm a Leonardo guy. I know it's Donatello, but I believe, okay? It ain't over till it's
No,
over.
again,
Okay,
2
fine.
o'clock this Saturday Eastern. Tip for Game 4. Just get one Raptors against Philly.
One.
Don't get swept.
Don't make Shaq right.
Don't get swept. Now Badia will be very unhappy. All right, so Red Table Talk made its return, I guess you can say, and they sidestepped, because we all wondered what Jada Pinkett-Smith would do with Red Table Talk, one of the more popular digital segments out there. So they sidestepped the Oscar slap. Wednesday's episode opened with text on the screen. That's all it did. And it was a statement from Jada. This is how it looked like. It said, considering all that's happened in the last few weeks, the Smith family has been focusing on deep healing. Some of the discoveries around our healing will be shared at the table when the time calls. End of font. So first guest is Janelle Monáe, and once her conversation began at the table, that's the only mention you read. You didn't hear any other mention of the Oscars. It was decided that Smith was banned for 10 years for what happened. We all know what happened. I don't think we need to rehash that. We've had those conversations.
The slap.
My question, Gurdeep, I'll start with you. Does Jada Pinkett-Smith owe it to anyone in this episode that dropped yesterday to say way more than was said?
Okay, so a couple things. First off, Red Table Talk did what Chris Rock could not, and that was sidestep the slap. Okay?
Oh, wow.
They avoided it.
Wow.
See what you did there.
I don't think they have to address it just yet, because I'm guessing, look, these two are a team, they're a force, and I'm thinking they're with their whole PR and their team right now, they're probably trying to get all their thoughts collected. They're going to present a united front whenever they decide to address it. I think when Will and Jada address it, it'll be on Red Table Talk. It's not going to be on Oprah or Ellen or anywhere else. It's going to be on their show to get the ratings. The only part of it I didn't like was that there was some kind of tease saying that we're going to talk about what's on everyone's mind. That I didn't like, because that's like a clickbait headline with zero payoff. If they didn't give that tease, I'd have no problem with them waiting to get all their horses in order before they want to address it.
Yeah, so frustrating. I disagree. I think that if you watch that show, the reason why you're watching that show, the reason why it's so popular is Jada is an open book. She has talked about some very, very difficult things. She talked about having an affair. She talked about having a blended family.
I believe it was an entanglement.
An entanglement, not getting along with Will's ex. I mean, they have shared some really sort of deep things within the family. When Jaden lost his virginity, all of that was on that show. That's why people watch the show. They go to that show because she's going to be real and she's going to tell you what she thinks.
And I give her credit for it.
And they give her credit for it.
It's not easy to do that.
No.
Yeah.
And they do it, through all the generations with her mom and with her daughter joining her as well. So you get everybody's perspective. That's why you tune in. So for me, when it was teased the way it was teased, I expect them to deliver on that tease.
They're all stars, though. Like Willow just performed at Coachella. They all have to carry on with their business, right? And at the same time, I think they had to address the elephant in the room. So they're like, let's do that. To your point, don't like the clickbait part, because if you do that too many times, you lose trust in people, where you're like, okay, you want to control the narrative, which I get, but when? Because they do need the time to think about all this so they don't act erratically, which is why they ended up in this problem in the first place.
Good point.
You got to do the work first, but we're all going to be watching when it does happen. I've never watched that show. I've only seen bits and pieces, but I will be tuning into that Red Table Talk.
A couple things. I mean, who doesn't get booked at Coachella? I was booked on Thursday to play the harmonica. Like, everyone goes to Coachella. But you're right. He was
play
at
the
Coachella.
harmonica? You
Oh,
John
I got
Popper?
I got some skills.
She's got quite the career. She's
she's
budding.
good. She's good.
Yeah.
But to your point, though, about getting ahead of the narrative.
Yeah.
Two other things. One, I hadn't seen that video in a while. I'm still blown away by that. I hadn't seen it in weeks.
The slap.
Just saw it now. I am amazed either Chris Rock or Jada or Will have not gotten ahead of this. Someone's going to get their first swipe at the story on their terms. Why do you think they're waiting? I think Chris Rock sounds like he's waiting to get paid by Netflix or somebody. But I understand that to a point, but someone's going to have if you control the narrative, as you guys know, you own it. I'm just surprised no one's done it yet.
It's almost like it's radioactive, and it's just this thing on its own, and no one wants to be the first one to go over and touch it, right? But I totally agree with you. I think it's the monetization thing, because Chris Rock is on tour right now, which we talked about. So you think he'd pivot and put in some material about this, but he's zipping his mouth on it until he can get paid and do a big sit down with someone.
And I think
wonder
he's
if
also
there's
taking
more
his time.
going on. Like
Yeah.
maybe they've all had a
Maybe.
conversation.
Well,
Maybe they've all talked.
There's also, I'll throw this, listen, we'll put this on the table since it's our table talk. There are rumors that things are not going well with Will and Jada here, and it could be a really, really messy divorce. If that's the case, that also complicates us a great deal, obviously.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm
Can we
looking
call
forward
this
to
marble
hearing more.
table talk?
Marble table talk.
There could be. It's not. It doesn't have the same ring.
Not
the
really.
marble
No.
table talk.
Yeah.
With
What is
Dina's
that?
red shoes.
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Hey,
Also, can we just
close enough.
wish the Queen a
I
happy
was going to say,
birthday?
yeah, the
Queen's
Queen.
96.
96
There was a
years
picture.
old.
Do we have it on standby? That I believe.
In front of the
That's a quick
horses?
poll.
Yeah.
It's
coming.
It's coming.
So she's usually seen in bright colors. We know there's a lot of pomp and
They also
circumstance for
performed
every
at
birthday. That's not the Queen. There she
There
is.
she
with her
is.
two ponies.
That's Coachella.
That's
That is actually Coachella.
a queen between two horses.
She's opted for like a hunter green, and I think this is because to honor her late husband. I feel because she
Yes.
is usually in color, right?
Yes.
To
Only
commemorate.
one
For
way
sure.
to wish the Queen happy birthday, and that is, Yas, Queen.
Okay,
All right.
I was going to say a royal wave, but you
No,
do you.
Same thing. It was close.
This is the proper way to do
God
it.
bless
Yeah.
the Queen.
I'm in the know with these things. Yeah.
Pooja and Gurdeep show every day on CHFI, and they're in Toronto. They're amazing. Check them out online.
We're okay.
Every Thursday here on
do it
BT.
again.
Now we say goodbye. Not good.
Not
I
the
messed
same
that
ring
up.
to it, no?
To the Queen.
To the Queen. Happy birthday to the Queen.
Spill some tea for the Queen.
Pinkies
Yes.
up.